Hey, what's up guys, Pratima here. So Samsung just launched yet another mid-range phone, the Samsung Galaxy M52. It is technically the successor of last year's Galaxy M51, but I think Samsung should have named this phone differently. Maybe the Galaxy M72 instead, because it's actually better and costlier than the Galaxy M62. So someone who isn't as tech savvy might get the wrong idea because of this confusing chronological naming convention. Regardless, from what Samsung officials have told me, the price of the Galaxy M52 will start at around 47,000 rupees here in Nepal and should cost around rupees 27 to 28,000 in India for the base 6128GB variant. And like every other mid-range and upper mid-range phone from Samsung, you are paying a bit of a premium price for the Galaxy M52 as well. Samsung is also trying to differentiate this phone from the more expensive Galaxy A52s. And hence, the Galaxy M52 lacks some premium features like IP67 rating and optical image stabilization, which we admired about the Galaxy A52s. Still, Samsung has retained some goodness of the Galaxy A52s here, like the higher refresh rate display and the same Snapdragon 778 5G chipset. Anyway, we know that Samsung's M series of phones have always emphasized on a bigger battery, but the Galaxy M52 is a slight exception here. It gets a 5000 mAh cell, which is still considered a big battery by today's standard, yet its predecessors like the Galaxy M51 and the M62 packed a huge 7000 mAh battery instead. So because of the smaller battery capacity, this phone is much thinner and lighter as well. It weighs just 175 grams and is possibly one of the thinnest phones from Samsung. But a thinner and lighter design does not necessarily mean you're in for a premium phone. During my brief time with the Galaxy M52, I found it to be a bit hollow and missing in heft that I'm used to from a smartphone. It is also wider and taller than the Galaxy A52s, but my biggest complaint with the M52's design is how it looks. Like with most M series phones from the company, you get the same glossy plastic back with vertical lines here. Couple that with the boring black and blue color options, it's certainly not a good looking phone like the Galaxy A52s. So yeah, you would definitely want to case it up. Up front, the Galaxy M52 features an excellent display though. It's a 6.7 inches Super AMOLED Full HD Plus panel with a 120Hz refresh rate. So far, I've found this screen to be vibrant with excellent white balance and contrast levels as well. And yes, it can get plenty bright too. The touch responsiveness is also satisfactory, although it's not 360Hz or 480Hz like you'd get from other similarly priced phones. At any rate, this is not an A+ panel found in flagship or semi-flagship smartphones by any means, but is still of great quality for the price. As expected, Samsung has optimized its UI to run well at 120Hz, and there aren't weird micro lags or stutters when the refresh rate switches from 120Hz to 60Hz and vice versa either. But I haven't installed a lot of apps here yet, so I will be sharing those experiences at length in my full in-depth review. By the way, the display also gets Gorilla Glass 5 protection, but what's missing on the Galaxy M52 is the in-display fingerprint sensor, which is present on the Galaxy A52s. On the contrary, Samsung is offering a side-mounted capacitive fingerprint scanner here, which is pretty fast and accurate. Likewise, I was also quite surprised to see a headphone jack missing on the Galaxy M52. Almost all the Samsung mid-range phones in 2020 and 2021 featured a 3.5mm audio jack, and the last one that I can think of lacking the headphone jack was the Galaxy M40 from back in 2019. Plus, you also don't get stereo speakers here. Yet, after listening to a few songs, I found that the audio quality on the M52 is not that bad. It's obviously not as good as the stereo speakers on the Galaxy A52s, but it can get plenty loud with good details. Here, let me play some songs for you. Okay, moving on to the performance, you get the same Snapdragon 778G 5G on this phone like the Galaxy A52s and the Realme GT Master Edition. We already know that this is quite the capable chipset and a big improvement coming from the Snapdragon 730G on last year's Galaxy M51. So you can expect really good performance on this phone. In fact, it should deliver a similar experience as the Galaxy A52s. That being said, I would suggest you get the 8GB RAM variant because I feel like 6GB RAM isn't enough for someone like me who wants apps to be open in the background for a longer period. With the new Adreno 642L GPU on the 778G, the Galaxy M52 delivers a decent gaming experience as well. Although it's not as powerful as MediaTek's Dimensity 1200 found on phones like the OnePlus Nord 2 and the Poco F3 GT, the Snapdragon 778G holds its ground for light to medium usage perfectly fine. For now, I've only played PUBG and Call of Duty for an hour or so, and I'm satisfied with its gaming prowess. PUBG Mobile can run smoothly at 60 FPS with 100% stability in smooth graphics and extreme frame rates. On the other hand, Call of Duty also delivers a stable 60 FPS under very high graphics and very high frame rates. However, I did notice the phone heating up relatively faster than the Galaxy A52s, which is most probably because of its thin form factor. As for 5G, this phone has 11 5G bands, which is a good number in my opinion. And with the 5G spectrum auction in India pushed to early 2022, if you're looking for a future-proof 5G phone, this can be a decent option as well. Now getting to the cameras, unlike the quad camera setup on the Galaxy A52s, you get a triple camera array here with a 64 megapixel primary, 12 megapixel ultra wide and a 5 megapixel macro sensor, whereas I don't mind the missing 5 megapixel depth sensor at all. Taking these two phones for a short photo walk, I found the camera quality on both to be incredibly similar. As you can see, both primary and ultra-wide-angle photos in most instances are subject to the classic Samsung optimization with punchy colors and excellent exposure management. Likewise, portrait images are pretty similar from these phones as well, although the Galaxy A52s is able to preserve more details. But if you don't zoom in, 90% of the time you won't be able to tell the difference between the two. Selfies share the same story where both cameras get similar hardware and perform similarly too. But since the Galaxy A52s has optical image stabilization in its primary camera, you will get better sharpness in moving objects like in this picture of my neighbor's dog Jacob. And not just that, the A52s can maintain better sharpness during low light conditions, whereas you'll find images from the M52 being comparatively less sharp. Overall, despite the lack of OIS, the photography aspect of the Galaxy M52 looks promising and should definitely perform better than competition like the OnePlus Nord 2 and the Realme GT Master Edition. However, in terms of videos, Samsung seems to have disabled EIS. Hence, even 1080p 30fps videos are wobbly here. And the 1080p 60fps and 4K 30fps footages are extremely shaky as well. In comparison, the A52s delivers stable footages across all the resolutions. So there you have it guys, my early impressions, or you can call it a mini review of the Galaxy M52. Contrary to other 5G mid-range phones from Samsung like the Galaxy A42 5G and the M32 5G, this certainly looks like a better value. But like I said in the beginning, Samsung is charging a bit more given what the phone actually offers. And yes, you are only getting a 15-watt charger inside the box. I completely forgot about that. Anyway, one of our team members will be using this phone as his daily driver and thoroughly testing it for 2 to 3 more weeks while I am preoccupied with the Galaxy A52s and the Z Flip 3. So stay tuned for all our reviews, and if you have any questions regarding the Galaxy M52, do let me know in the comments. Saying this, I'm Pratima and I will see you soon. Pretty soon actually, because lots of videos are coming this month. So yeah, stay tuned to Gadget Byte. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.